हरे कृष्ण। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। So we welcome everyone for today's discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 56. Dukheshu anudvignamana, sukheshu vigadispraha, vitaraga bhaya krodha, sthita dhira mudiruchyate. One who is not disturbed in mind, even amidst the threefold miseries, or elated when there is happiness, and who is free from attachment, fear, and anger, is called a sage of steady mind. Sage of steady mind means sthir dhira muni ruchate. Means steady mind means who is engaged constantly in the service of the Lord without getting deviated every day, day after day, month after month, year after year, or birth after birth, uh, birth after birth. That is, of course, extreme. But at least this birth, year after year, if somebody can just be engaged in the activities of Krishna consciousness, so he is known as Sthit Dhira Muni Ruchyate. But in order to reach to this platform, one has to be undisturbed uh, in miserable situation, and one has to be free from hankering when the opportunities for sense gratification or happiness arises. That is the meaning of this verse. But who can come to this platform? So we discussed it before yesterday in great detail, but unfortunately you are not able to remember. So we'll read the purport and try to cover those things again. The word Muni means one who can agitate his mind in various ways for mental speculation without coming to a factual conclusion. Muni. Uh, Muni means one who can agitate his mind in various ways for mental speculation without coming to factual conclusion. It is said that every Muni has a different angle of vision, and unless a Muni differs from other Munis, he cannot be called a Muni in the strict sense of the term. Nasa Rishiryasya Matam na bhinna. In Mahabharata, it is explained, Nasa Rishiryasya Matam na bhinna. A Rishi, he cannot be known as a Muni if his opinion is not, if his opinion does not differ from others' opinion. So that is the definition of Muni. The definition of Muni itself implies that a Muni is agitated mentally. He has different opinion. But in order to reach to the platform of perfect stage of self-realization, or perfect stage of Krishna consciousness, one has to remain unagitated mentally. That's why here Lord Krishna in this verse he is using the term Isthita Dhir Muni. But a Isthita Dhir Muni, as mentioned herein by the Lord, is different from an ordinary Muni. The Sthita Dhir Muni is always in Krishna consciousness, for he has exhausted all his business of creative speculation. So this is the difference. A Krishna conscious person, he is not an ordinary Muni. Ordinary Muni means whose mind is always agitated because of too much speculation about the uh, conclusions. So, and he must differ from other munis. But Sthit Muni, he has exhausted all his business of creative speculation. That means no more he is interested in unnecessary speculating. In this modern age, the more one can speculate, the more one can agitate his mind, and the more one is known as creative. Huh. This is the modern uh, what you say. In modern times, the more one can agitate his mind and differ from the conclusions of others and prove his own opinions, he is considered to be a very creative person. But this is the greatest disqualification for a person to become fully Krishna conscious. Just like in this material world, the more one is passionate about acquiring name, fame, worldly benefit, the more one is appreciated, the more he is considered to be a great person. Uh, But according to Srimad Bhagavatam, according to this definition of Krishna consciousness viewpoint, such a person becomes completely disqualified to advance in transcendental realization. As Kunti Marani also prayed in one of the verse, Janma Ishwara Shuta Shribhi Edaman Madapuman. Those who have got very nice birth in a very nice aristocratic uh, family, respected family, nice birth, Janma Aishwarya, those who have nice opulences to enjoy all material comforts, material sense enjoyment facilities are there. Aishwarya, Janma Aishwarya Shruta. Shruta means one who is very learned. Uh, he has many degrees. He holds double MBA, PhD, uh, masters, or in the scriptures also earlier. Dvivedi, Trivedi, Chaturvedi, all the Vedis, but with no Veda, no knowledge. Because Vedesh Sarve Raham Eva Veda, Krishna says, through all the Vedas, I am to be known. And the ultimate objective is to become attached to Krishna. But a person who is so-called Pandit, he has learned all the Vedic literature, all the scriptures, but has not yet come to the conclusion of getting attached to the Supreme Lord Krishna. So that is Shruta. And Shrivi means beautiful form, beautiful bodily features, attractive beauty. So all these four things, which are uh, accepted as great qualifications in this material world for a person to be successful. But actually, in the spiritual life, in Krishna consciousness especially, as far as Krishna consciousness is concerned, these four things become the greatest obstacle or greatest disqualification for a person. Huh. Similarly, Muni also, the more a person can speculate, he is considered to be great, creative. uh, But in Krishna consciousness, the person, as he has Sthit Dhir Muni, he is no more interested. It's not that he cannot speculate. It's not that a Krishna conscious person has no ability, no intelligence to get some material success and to prove himself to be superior. But he has no interest at all. Just like in Vrindavan, Sanatan Goswami, Jeev Goswami, Rup Sanatan Goswami, the Pandit, Keso Kasviri Pandit, he came with the desire to defeat Rup Sanatan Goswami so that he can become Digvijay. He get the name of greatest Pandit of his era. So with this in mind, he came to Vrindavan and he challenged Rup Sanatan Goswami that I want to debate with you. Uh, So Rup Sanatan Goswami said, what is the point in debating? We accept the defeat. We are ready to sign. Uh, So he was having his Vijay Pataka, a paper. He was carrying a piece of paper in which he was traveling all over the India. and he was meeting all great Pandit scholars, and he used to defeat them and used to get their sign that they got defeated. So Rup Sanatan Goswami said, "You write our name. We are ready to sign that we got defeated. No need to debate unnecessary." So they just signed, and he became very happy that finally I defeated the greatest scholar in Vrindavan, Mathura, Brajbhumi, and now I have become Digvijay Pandit. So he was so happy. But he did not understand that Rup Sanatan Goswami, in order to save their valuable time, they just accepted the defeat. What is the use of getting this uh, cheap kind of fame that we are so great a scholar? What is the use? If it is unnecessary, a waste of time, because if we are to debate with this Digvijay Pandit, so surely we are going to waste our so many days in unnecessary argument. So better than this is that we can chant Hare Krishna, we can serve Krishna, we can glorify Krishna. That is far better. That's why they decided this. Of course, later on when Jeev Goswami he came to know uh, that his spiritual master Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, his spiritual masters were defeated like this, but that is not actually correct. So Jeev Goswami, being their very obedient and faithful disciple, then he challenged that case of Kashmiri Pandit that, oh, our my spiritual masters, in order to save their valuable time, they did not indulge in debating with you, but that does not mean that they are less than you, or they have no scholarship. They are not a scholar. They are not Pandit. No, I challenge you. You come and debate with me. I am a tiniest jiva. Jiva means Jiva Goswami. He said, I'm tiniest jiva. Means I am very insignificant disciple of my spiritual master, Rup Sanatan Goswami. So you debate with me, you defeat me, then I'll understand that you have got any power to defeat my spiritual master. Then Jiva Goswami, he took up this challenge and he debated with that Kesav Kashmiri Pandit and he defeated him completely. So later on, when Rup Sanatan Goswami came to know that Jeev Goswami did like this, he defeated Kesav Kashmiri Pandit and he wasted so much time. So they became angry and they rejected him. Especially Rupa Goswami, he rejected him. He said, "You are not qualified to reside in Vrindavan because you have the desire to defeat somebody." So, but Jeev Goswami was all right because he did not debate with Kashmiri for his own sake, but just to protect the reputation of his spiritual masters, which is, of course, very nice thing. But anyway, the important point is Sthit Dhir Muni. So, Sthit Dhir Muni, a devotee, a Krishna conscious person, it's not that he is not a Muni. Muni means one who can uh, means speculate on certain subject, who can come to certain conclusion, who can debate, he is Muni. So Krishna conscious devotee, he is perfect Muni, but he does not like to waste his time and unnecessary indulging in all these things. Just like sometimes those who are brahmacharis and sannyasis, they are criticized as they are escapist. They have run away from responsibilities. And even to the point of sometimes they are even criticized. Sometimes some of people they criticize that they are important person. They cannot produce child. That's why they run away from marriage and they become like this. One time, one brahmachari he was criticized like this. So the brahmachari became very angry. He went to his counselor and said, "प्रभु जी, उसने मेरे को ऐसा बोला, वो मेरे को बोला मैं नपुंसक हूँ, हाँ, I will prove him. No, I'm not an important person. I can produce many children. I'll I'll get married and I'll show the world that I'm not important. I have not run away from this." The Prabhuji said, "What is not nonsense you are talking? You are a foolish person. Just to prove that you are potent, you want to ruin your entire life? This is nonsense." Similarly, many people they may say like this that oh, you have run away from responsibility, you cannot face the challenges of life, that's why you have gone to temple as just ghanti baja ke ghanti hila rahe ho. one of my relatives said like this to me कि तुम अपने जीवन के दुख से बचने के लिए घंटी हिला रहे हो बस जाके बैठ के. So I said, even if you think like so, that is also intelligence. वही तो बुद्धिमत्ता है ना. Unnecessary. Why to unnecessary entangle ourselves in uh, unwanted miseries, undesirable or useless miseries? Because the end result of all these material responsibilities, whatever responsibility we take, and in order to fulfill those responsibility, a person has to undergo so many miserable kind of situations in order to earn money, to maintain family, and to nicely grow family. This is a very rigorous task, especially in this age of Kali. It is said that in Bhagavatam, it is said in Kali Yuga, if a man can maintain his family consisting of one wife and few children, one or two, three children, then he will be considered a very daksha, expert man. This is the situation in modern time. But what is the end result? Ultimately, even if somebody after undergoing so many miserable situations, if he is able to maintain his family, but what is getting? Ultimately death and then again birth and again start from the beginning, from the scratch, again maintain the family and do all these things, but again death. So is this intelligence? So devotees, those who run away from material responsibility, they are not actually foolish person, or they are not running away uh, means from responsibility, and they are not running away from miseries, but rather they are intelligent. uh, and they are more brave. Why? Because those who can control the urges of their desires for sense gratification, they are actually powerful and they are actually brave. Not those persons who are unable to control the urges of their sense gratification. They indulge in sense gratification, and just to maintain the results of their sense gratification, they have to undergo miserable situation of life, which is known as responsibility in this material world. But anyway, the important point we should know that a Krishna conscious person is not at all a less qualified person than any materialistic person. If required, a Krishna conscious person can do all the tasks which a materialistic person is able to do. Just like Arjuna, Lord Krishna said, Arjuna, Arjun, you are declining to fight. So you are thinking that out of compassion you are declining to fight, but they are not going to accept you like this. They will think that you have become coward. So that was a trick Krishna was just using in order to induce Arjuna for fighting, but that is not required for us to do. So that was just a trick. So Lord Krishna said like this: "Klabhyamma is gama partha. Do not yield to this impotency. Do not become, do not act like an important person. You must fight." So then Arjuna, after hearing Bhagavad Gita, when he understood that this fighting is my actually devotional service to Krishna, so then he fought and he killed so many millions of people and he became hero. Uh, Similarly, if required, a devotee, a fully Krishna conscious devotee, he can go all over the world and defeat anybody. He can perform all the tasks which a materialistic person can perform. And so much so that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada, he was a Naistic brahmachari and later on he took sannyas. Never ever he contacted any woman. Uh, but he used to say that if it is required for the service of Krishna, I can produce hundreds of children. We can have sex hundreds of times if it is required for serving Krishna. That if, means if I am guaranteed, if I am sure that I'll produce 100% Krishna conscious children, then we have no problem in indulging sex. We are not against sense gratification. We are not against means too much passionate work. We are not against too much discussion, speculation, or whatever you say, jnana marga karma. So karma and jnana, and devotees are not devotees. They do not hate karma and jnana, but devotees, their only concern is Whatever is required for serving Krishna, whatever is required for advancing in Krishna consciousness, we must accept it. If karma, karma means taking any kind of material responsibility is going to hamper my progress in Krishna consciousness, then why to unnecessarily indulge in those material activities? But if, on the other hand, if taking certain responsibility, I am going to advance in Krishna consciousness, so I am ready to accept. Just like we have so many activities, so many festivals we celebrate, so much work to do, so much we work like materialistic person also sometimes. Sometimes there are devotees, they work 18 hours, 20 hours a day also, without sleep, without anything, especially during festival time. There are devotees, they don't even get even 2 or 3 hours of sleep in the night. They are so working hard. But why? For Krishna's sake, for devotional service to Krishna. The same devotee, he will not be interested for working materially. Now, time's up. Time ho gaya. Okay, I'll finish it. So, the same devotee, he becomes completely lazy as far as his activities for sense gratifications are concerned. He becomes lazy. But as far as activities of devotional service, which will please Krishna, which is required for serving Krishna, devotee becomes very active. Uh, on the other hand, a materialistic person, she is very active for the for performing materialistic activities for the purpose of sense gratification. But he becomes very lazy for performing activities for spiritual realization. Uh, Lord Krishna says, "Ya nisa sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati sanyam." Uh, uh, that which is night for a self-realized soul, that is day for materialistic person, and the night for materialistic person is day for self-realized soul. Yani sa sarvabhutanam tasyam jagrati sanyam. Just like we get up early in the morning, 3:30, 4 o'clock to attend Mangala Arati and chant japa. At that time, materialistic person, they just keep sleeping. That is night for them, and that is day for us. So it's not that we do not work hard. Devotees are also working hard. Is it so easy thing to get up early in the morning every day without fail, irrespective of what the situation may be, whether winter, summer, rainy season, whether one gets night sleep or not? Still, the devotee who is serious about serving Krishna, he gets up immediately. So, so that means devotee is also very active, but for advancing in Krishna consciousness. Whereas a materialistic person is active for sense gratification, and that is the meaning of Sthita Dhira Muni Ruchate. He is always in Krishna consciousness. He has exhausted all his minds. He is called Prasanta Nishesha Mano Rathenantara, or one who has surpassed the stage of mental speculations and has come to the conclusion that Lord Sri Krishna, Vasudeva, is everything. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudharlabha. Okay, time is up. We'll read this purport again tomorrow. Discuss more about this. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna.
About the nature of munis and their behavior and everything. So I have this one question that all the munis, are they all the super souls
Super souls? No.
like Devatas or
Muni?
something like that?
No, no. Munis are also living entities. Muni means just they can tax their brain very nicely to speculate over some subject matter and come to different kinds of conclusions, and they build up different opinions, and they are expert in debating on those conclusions and to defeat other munis.
Okay, okay. So it is a part of like the debate culture or that goes on within the religious
Yes,
ecosystem.
yes.
It does not have anything to take on a spiritual basis.
Yes, generally it is not, because most of the time these ordinary munis, they are just engaged in debating over the scriptures just for the sake of establishing their supremacy of their opinion. But they have least concerned about what really uh, Means spiritual life is what really can make them advance towards Krishna consciousness.
What about Narad Muni, Prabhuji?
Narad Muni, he is Mahamuni, he is Dhir Muni. He is actual
Okay.
Muni, he is greatest Muni. Because all he is Muni. Muni means who can tax their brain, who has good intelligence, who can expertly convey their message very expertly and boldly and with full logic and conviction and arguments. They are Muni. So Narad Muni, because he is the greatest Vaishnava, so using his qualities of Muni, he establishes the supremacy of Krishna. So that is required. That is very nice. But ordinary
Okay.
Munis, they just establish their own supremacy. That I am a great Muni. Whatever I say, whatever is my opinion, I can establish that. But Narad Muni and Vyasa Muni and all those Munis who are pure devotees, they are different. Okay,
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Got it.